the AP5-P Gry Team Edition. Let's check it out. When it comes to the HK MP5, it is one of the most iconic submachine guns ever produced. Used in a number of different movies, but also really favored by the Navy SEALs and a lot of elite teams all over the world. Now, while these are produced by HK, they bring a pretty hefty price tag. But today we're going to take a look at the AP5-P, and this is imported by Century Arms. And these are made in Turkey by MKE on licensed HK machinery, technical plans, metallurgy. This is as close as you're going to get to an HK MP5. And it's compatible with all the MP5 parts. Now, this is the Gry Team Edition, which is a nonprofit that supports military veterans. There's only going to be 2,000 made, and the proceeds will go to Gry Team. And we want to give a big thank you to Century Arms for sending the AP5-P for this review, but also supporting our veterans. Well, the Century Arms AP5, this is the limited edition Gry Team version. And one of the things about Gry Team is it's a 501c nonprofit organization, and they support active duty U.S. soldiers and military vets. Their big mission, though, is to reduce or eliminate PTSD-related suicides. And through that, they do a lot of things with health and wellness. They get guys together. They go to a lot of different events. They hold different fundraising events. It's a great organization, and it's really cool that Century Arms has partnered up with those guys. It does have Gry Team with a pyramid laser engraved on the side of the receiver, and it has the number out of 2,000 that they're going to produce. And they're trying to raise $100,000 for Gry Team. Honestly, these are a little bit more expensive than their standard, but with all the accessories they have that come with it, it's definitely even a better value. And of course, this is based on the HK MP5 or 94, which is a 9mm roller delay blowback action. And roller delay, man, it really makes a huge difference when firing it. It makes it a lot softer, especially compared to a straight blowback action, which has a little bit more recoil than your standard recoiling systems. But this is actually produced by MKE. Now, back in the 1980s, the Turkish military went with the MP5 from HK, but one of their requirements was that it had to be made in Turkey. So HK went down, set up all the machinery. They had all the technical data, all the metallurgy, and all the tooling. And these originally were licensed HK MP5s. After the contract was up, MKE bought the factory, and they have been producing these. This is the closest you're going to get to an actual HK MP5 without going and buying an MP5 or the SP5K. And you're going to get this for less than half the price. Now, I previously had some experience with the Zenith ZP5K. Zenith actually imported those from Turkey from MKE. And I'll tell you guys, I've had that for a number of years. It is a great MP5 clone. And I almost hesitate to call it a clone. But the HK MP5 has been around since 1966. There are a lot of special forces that use these for a number of years. SEAL Team was one of the big ones. But they've also been featured in a number of movies. And of course, Die Hard was one of the big ones. He actually took one of the MP5s and used it against the terrorists. And then, of course, in Matrix, and Keanu Reeves shooting double MP5s. I mean, that was just beautiful. Now, of course, first thing let's do is go ahead and we'll drop our magazines, empty, and we'll check the chamber. and the gun is empty. Now, with the charging handle in this little notch, you slap it down. That's called the HK slap. I mean, it's just really cool to do. And the magazines just seat really well. These are MKE magazines. You get 3 with the AP5. Now you'll notice that I do have a sling attached to the back, and it does come with a sling, has the HK hooks to it. And of course, we were shooting it with the SB Tactical brace. It just makes it a lot nicer, but this is very doable right around your neck. And that's one of the things about the AP5 is the size, especially the smaller size. I mean, it makes it really handy and easy to use. Now this is fully HK compatible, and obviously if they're going strictly with the same plans, you can interchange the parts with these. And of course, HK parts are typically more expensive, and Century does carry all the different replacement parts if you do have any kind of issues. Now it has a stamped receiver, which is typical for your HK. And then we have a polymer lower, very ergonomic little grip on it. Safety right here, just bring it down for fire, lift it up for safe. Magazine release is a paddle design right here. And guys, it just allows you to grab that magazine and pull it right out, and then when you're inserting your next magazine, it goes right in. There is a magazine release on the other side. I typically don't use it. It's a little bit of a reach to get to, and then if you needed to, you can drop it this way. But you still have the paddle mag release right here, so you can take it out this way. But very thought out. I mean, this is definitely a combat firearm. Now the barrel is cold hammer forged. It's 5.8 inches in length, and of course you can get the little bit bigger version, and they do make a version that is just cut off right here, and so it makes it a very compact package. So it gives you a couple of different options. This is my favorite model. I love this size. I love the ability to be able to put on any kind of suppressor or whatever I want to. So this just gives you a lot more options, and it's so tiny and easy to stow away. Handguard at the front, it does have a stop, and on this short barrel, you definitely want to have that. And of course, they do make some different versions of this, but this is what comes on. I mean, it's a very well-made polymer. Even the receiver, I mean, it even has the lines through it, just the fences, so it makes it really just a very nice appearance to it. Of course, they have the slots here for the collapsible stock, and we have this metal sheeting over the end, but you can still put it on. The end cap, again, does have that sling swivel, and it does move. And of course, we do have a sling attachment up here at the front. So I can take my sling, unhook it, hook it right into there, and now I can carry it this way. So it gives you a couple of different options to be able to carry it and shoot it. We have a hooded front sight, and it does have a post, and then here at the rear you have that rotating drum, and you can just put that to whatever windage you're shooting. A lot of the originals though had a peep sight or an aperture sight on the back, but this one just has the slots. But really easy to be able to turn. It's knurled, and so it's very grippable to be able to turn it. We have a scope mount area up here, and this version does come with a Picatinny mount. We'll take a look at it. When you go with the claw mounts, not only are they're more expensive, but this actually locks in better. And that came with the original AP5 as well. Non-reciprocating bolt handle comes back. Again, it just locks into place, but it does have texturing all here, and then it just slams forward. And of course, it is in 9mm, so it makes it a very short throw. We have a slotted muzzle brake, and we have a detachment point right here with knurling all the way around the ring. This is a little different. It has a nub that comes up, and then you have these steps. So bring this little lever down and then up. And so you hit that back and it'll pop it up. And then we can remove the brake. And here we have a tri-lug adapter on here, which is typical for your HK, but we also have a threaded barrel. And we have the thread protector, and this is 1/2 by 28 thread, so you can put a suppressor on it even if you don't have the tri-lug adapter. Then take your muzzle brake, slip it back over it. Here you can see this little gap, and it fits right into that bar, and so that's what locks it into place. Now you want to make sure your muzzle is in the upper position, and then you bring it down and then push it down, and then it locks into place just like that. It's a little tricky at first. So we take it and lift it up just like this, and then when you like it, you just push it down and it locks on to this bar. Trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 6 pounds, 1.3 ounces. 6 pounds, 5.4 ounces. And the weight on the Gry Team AP5, 5 pounds, 1.6 ounces. Now, of course, during the range time, we added the SP Tactical brace. This is a great little option, and what I love is it folds. So it makes this still a very tiny package, and yet it makes it a much more capable firearm. When you're at the range putting this up, using it either as a standard brace with your arm through or resting it on your shoulder, it gives you a lot more stability. But with the end cap, you have that sling swivel, and it works really well with that. In fact, again, even in Die Hard, that's what he used. The MP5, it can be used in a number of different ways, and to be honest with you, the brace is just a matter of preference. And guys, we have just revamped our website at suitsgear.com. There's a lot of different suit swag over there, patches, t-shirts, but there's also a lot of my favorite products are there. We also have the Suits deals where we find all kind of deals and offer those to you guys at some of the best prices. Another thing that we do is a lot of the videos that were taken down by YouTube, which we call our contraband or banned videos, and all that's over on suitsgear.com, so check it out. Big thanks to Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo, all made in the USA, one of the biggest suppliers of ammunition in the country. And of course, these MP5 mags are really easy to top load, similar to your AR-15. Just slides right in. God, that thing shoots so nice. Guys, there's nothing like an MP5, except a less expensive MP5 like the AP5. This is actually built on licensed HK machinery, imported by Century Arms. I love the little short K model. I mean, this is awesome. When Century first came out with their a little bit larger model, but I really like this size. Put on one of the SP Tactical braces, which makes this a very tiny package. But of course, there is a sling mount on the back. You can use it just with a sling. HK magazines, and those work great. Muzzle brake seems very effective, but the roller lock system in these is what is legendary. It's a very soft shooting firearm. Blowback action kind of gives it a little bit back on your shoulder. With the roller lock, it's super smooth. And of course, what I really like is I can put my mag in, do the HK slap, and I'm ready to go. Once I drop my safety. And just super smooth, super freaking smooth. I love the HK design, but if you get a traditional HK, those things are in the thousands. I mean, this is really a great alternative, and again, built right there on HK machinery. So the Gry Team model itself is a special edition, but overall, it is just a HK 94, but about a third of the price. And it's still a lot of fun. I love it. Okay, for disassembly, we're going to remove our magazine. Go ahead and check to make sure the gun is unloaded. Now, first thing you do is you have 2 pins here at the back. And so we're going to go ahead and push those through. They are not captive, so they will come all the way out. It's funny, on the HK rifles, the stock has 2 pinholes to put these in. And then, of course, there's one here at the bottom. Now, this will remove your end cap. So it's very simple to do. And again, when you want to put on a brace, it makes it very simple to add. And then we're going to pull back our charging handle, and we can pull out our bolt and bolt carrier. Next, we have a pin right here at the front of our receiver, and we can pull it out. And then we can just remove the entire trigger group. Guys, this is one more beefy hammer system, and it's all contained in this grip module. So the lower receiver contains this whole thing, and you can go ahead and we're going to just drop that hammer. I don't want to make it come forward. You can see the really strong spring, but again, this is compatible with all your HK parts. So if you want to replace them with HK, you can do that and they'll fit. Now, there have been a number of different HKs that have been developed since 1966, so there may be a little bit of fitting here and there, but everything should fit. Also, you can take your safety, move it all the way up, and then we can pull this out, and we can just remove our entire fire control group. And that way you can work on it, you can replace it if you want. I mean, this just gives you a lot of options. I mean, this is the original chassis system that we're seeing in handguns. This really become the rage. Now, if you're a recoil spring and guide rod, it does come out of this housing. There is a rubber seal right here, so it takes just a little bit to do that. Now, to remove the bolt, pull it out and turn it clockwise. You can pull it out, and then we can pull out our firing pin, spring, and assembly. Real simple to do. And of course, this is also a lock on here, but it just works with the bolt. Now with the bolt, pretty strong extractor, and we do have this pin that's fit right here, but you can replace that. And these are your rollers for your roller-like action. And so these are down, and then as soon as it goes into the chamber, they pop out and they lock. And then when you fire, it goes back out and they collapse back down. And it just delays the action just a second, and it just really mitigates the recoil. But you can see this is a really well-machined bolt. Now for reassembly. There's only one way to put in your firing pin, and it's got this corresponding nub on the housing. So we take it, we're just going to go ahead and turn it. And then we take our bolt, and it fits right into that firing pin. And so right here you'll see this little groove that goes up, and so we're just going to turn it and we're going to lock it back into place. And you'll notice that when this is in the rear position, these rollers are locked out. And as we go forward, they go in. Take your recoil spring again and just place that into the housing. Then we're going to take our bolt, go ahead and reinsert it. Then we're going to take our fire control group and put it back into place in the receiver. Take your safety selector. Again, it's going to be going straight up. And then we just bring it down. We're going to leave it on safe. We're going to bring the hammer in the rear position. Now take your action, go ahead and set it up into the upper receiver. And then take that front receiver pin and go ahead and get it into place. And make sure your bolt's in the forward position, and then you can take your recoil spring and push it and get your bolt back into place. Then take your end cap and set it on the end. It is under a little spring tension. Then we're going to reinsert our pins. Disengage your safety. Let's check for function. And we're back in business. Now, keeping your firearms maintained and cleaned is vital. Otis makes some of the best cleaning equipment out there. They make a number of different kits that are dedicated for different rifles, pistols. They also have Shooter's Choice, which makes excellent CLP and bore solvent and different cleaning materials. The Ripcord is one of their signatures, and there's a whole system based around it. They are suppliers to the U.S. military. And so here we have our tactical kit. It's a very compact little pouch, and you have everything you need to keep your firearm cleaned in the field. But then also they have larger kits with the steel rods and with ripcords, and they make a number, in fact probably the most I've ever seen. And then of course they have tools as well. So check out Otis Technologies, highly recommended, and we want to thank Otis for being a sponsor of the channel. Now the Gry Team Edition comes with a really cool backpack, and this has a lot of MOLLE attachments, advanced warrior solutions. I mean, this thing is really just a solid little pack. Here we have areas for your magazines. In fact, all your stuff will come in here. And so we've got a slot for mags, but also here in this zippered compartment, it has additional mag capacity. And of course, unloaded firearms only. Nice pouch at the front, and then of course this opens up and we have a lot in here as well where you can put your firearm. One of the things about this, it has a very slick material. This is going to help protect it. And you have pockets at the front. So a really cool backpack. And again, you also get your sling, cleaning kit. Also included is a scope mount. Now, the HK typically has the claw mount, which fits on, and guys, sometimes it'll lose zero. With this, we have these little notches, and we have a little brace at the top of the receiver. This just nestles in, and you can attach this, and it has all the attachment points. So if you want to throw on a red dot, They also have actually a red dot mount, like a small micro red dot. So it gives you some options. Great way to have an optic on here, and it keeps it really compact and it's very stable. So really, when it comes to a little bit of the price increase, just the magazines themselves run $69, and you're getting an additional mag and the bag. I mean, so really, honestly, it's a better deal than the standard AP5. You also get an owner's manual, and you get a card of authenticity for the Gry Team Special Limited Edition. Now we come to the price. The HK SP5K is $2,999. When it comes to the standard AP5, they run $1,359. With the gray model, you're $1,499, and you get an extra mag, you get the bag. It really brings the price up to match the standard AP5, but you get the limited edition. And it does go to Gry Team, and it does help veterans. So what are pros and cons? Well, first off, it's a legendary firearm. Built on HK machinery, the original technical plans, the metallurgy. I mean, this is honestly as close as you're going to get to an HK MP5 for half the price. It does have the polymer receiver, but so does the SP5K from HK. Typically, mounts are difficult on these with the claw mount, but this comes with its own mount that's locked in. Sights, very well done. Of course, the barrel sight at the back, and then your front post. Having the tri-lug and the 1/2x28 thread gives you a lot of options. Plus, this is a very effective muzzle brake. And just this being a roller delay blowback makes this very soft shooting. It's a very compact firearm, and you can get models with the SP Tactical brace included. But you can get one like this and add your own brace. Again, guys, this is the only licensed copy of the HK MP5 in civilian version. Fairly easy to maintain. One con is with the standard MP5s, all the HK 91, the 93, which is 223, and then of course the MP5, is that there is a schedule of maintenance if you're shooting this a lot. But parts are available and you can keep this maintained. But they're a very robust action. Another con could be possibly that you want an HK. You want the real deal. It's out there, and those are incredible firearms. But really, I don't think you're going to be missing much other than the name for the MKE version. And with the Gry Team, of course, you're helping veterans, but also you're getting the bag, the extra mags, the scope mount, and so it gives you this setup right out of the box. And the magazines do run $69. And honestly, that's whether you get them from Century Arms or the same price for your HK mags. And it's in 9mm, so it gives you a lot of options with that really soft shooting caliber, and a little bit cheaper than most of your rifle calibers to be able to feed it. Guys, if you've always loved the MP5, but yet the price tag scared you, we're coming in with a clone that is actually produced on H&K machinery, technical plans, metallurgy, and compatible with all the MP5 parts. And you're supporting Gry Team, which is a great cause supporting our veterans. And again, a big thank you to Century Arms for sending the AP5-P Gry Team Edition and for their support for U.S. veterans. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Tiny and compactable. Okay, what you want to do is to bring that down and out. And how am I going to do that? HK machinery. When it comes to your bolt, you can just remove the, can you? Yeah. You want to make sure you don't turn it too fast because you don't want for this to come flying out. Why is that doing that? With the bolt, pull it out and turn it clockwise. Nope, counterclockwise. Dadgummit. Did I say counterclockwise? It's a very soft shooting soft shooting firearm. And guys, we're back in business. If I got it on safety.
That's it.
Is that it?
That's got to do accuracy.
Oh, come on. Let's do something else.